let's talk about my bookish goals for 2025. Happy New Year. So I did share my bookish goals on my Bookstagram, which I'm a little more active on there. If you wanted to follow me on there, that link will be there in the description box below. But let's get started talking about my goals for this new year. Only book related, which I guess is okay, but like can also go hand in hand with personal goals. But anyway, I already accomplished like 2 of them as of right now. So the first one is to only use one reading tracker. I thought of that immediately only because last year I got so annoyed with having to keep up with updating 3 reading tracker apps. I had Goodreads, Storygraph, and Bookmori, which is a word combined with book and memory. So book memory, Bookmori, however you say it. And it just gave the really cute aesthetic, like full calendar of showing you what you have read for the month, and that's why I liked it. But I could not remember for the life of me to ever update all of them at the same time, or let alone just one reading tracker. So the reading tracker that I stayed with is Goodreads. It's near and dear to my heart. It's OG, it's there. I also asked my followers on Instagram, like in a story poll, of which one I should keep, and Goodreads was the winner. So that kind of tells me something, right? So if you want to follow my Goodreads as well to see what I'm reading in real time or books I have read, and hopefully it will be in real time because I'm getting better at updating that one since it's only one app. So I'll have that provided in the description box as well. Feel free to follow me on there if you have Goodreads. I did like the other apps, especially Storygraph, because it was a little more specific than what Goodreads offers. Like on Storygraph, you can say that you DNF'd a book. You can give half-star ratings. You can add a little more to your review. They also give you questions that is optional to answer, just to have a little more in-depth review in case someone looks up the book and then they ask like the same questions. So I thought that was pretty cool, and of course it provides you aesthetically pleasing statistics that you can share on your social media or just see for yourself, whatever the case may be. And Goodreads, like, they have had some glitches over the years, but I guess it's near and dear to everyone in actuality because it's just the OG reading tracker app. I don't even know how long it's been around for, but I know I have had it since like high school. So near and dear to my heart, and we're sticking to it. We're only sticking with one. So I already checked off that goal. That's it. Done. One and done. So the next thing that I have on my bookish goal list is to use a reading journal again. I did have one. I got like one from Amazon a couple years ago, and it's your basic reading journal that has like, you know, the templates of like the box that you write your review in. I try to keep it to that minimum that it offers just because I can write forever. It also has like a space that you can put your favorite quote. It has where you can fill in either the heart or star ratings. You can write out your start and end date. So it's basically a reading tracker app, but in a notebook. I'm very old school. I like writing everything down. I do plan on using that one just because I found it and I still have a lot of pages left. But I also really want either just a reading notebook or maybe like a much more thorough reading journal. I don't know just yet, only because when I read books such as the one I'm reading right now, A Court of Wings and Ruin, it is a fantasy book and I struggle here and there with fantasy. I've really only gotten into this genre last year for the first time, and it's changed me. You know, I've been changed for good. I do think I am more of a magical realism dystopia reader, but we'll get to that tangent in another video. But they do have like, besides like remembering how their world works, what the plot is, and so many different characters, so the words that they use, I'm like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Let alone, I don't even know how to pronounce half of these people's names. I just go with what my conscience tells me. But I would just really like to keep track of vocabulary words, just because I love stopping and looking up a word, right, and like writing it down. But my problem is that I never write them down, so it just leaves my memory in my brain forever, and then I end up looking up the same word. Now I know you're thinking I should just probably read this on my Kindle to do that for me, because you tap the word on your Kindle, it gives you the definition right then and there, and you can highlight the word if you want. Again, I'm just very old school, and I already started book 1 and 2 of this in this physical book form, so you know I'm gonna finish the series that way. I do like these covers. I think this one so far is my favorite cover out of all of them, and one day I shall display them in a home where they deserve to be displayed, okay? But I digress. I just want a thorough reading journal full of definition words, and I don't write in my books. I just started tabbing last year, okay? This big book only got 2 so far. So I only really tab my favorite quotes. I'm not that detailed of a note and annotator. Maybe that time will come for me soon, but not just yet, okay? With the reading journal in mind, I would like to get back into writing and posting more book reviews. Back when I started my Instagram, it was obviously sharing my passion for books and reading, and it went hand in hand with my blog that I have, that I write my book reviews on there as well. So I just want to get back into doing more book review posts on my Instagram as well as my blog, which goes into my next goal of having more content days. My problem is that I just get really overwhelmed with wanting to, or feeling like I have to, post consistently on apps, which is important, but for me, I took that as, oh my god, I have to post on Instagram, but then that means I also have to post on TikTok today, which means I also have to post on YouTube today. Like, I just felt like everything had to be done simultaneously rather than cohesively and stretch them out with a schedule. So I don't necessarily know if I want like a content schedule. I wrote out a schedule last year, but I'm really bad with writing something and then not sticking with it. I just have really bad productivity guilt, and when I don't get to something because I feel overwhelmed, I have to learn how to take it like one platform at a time, and also remind myself that it's literally not the end of the world if you can't post to all of them, let alone one. So take that information and advice with what you will for your own content creation. I would like to set maybe just on the weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. That can literally change because, you know, of downtime that I know I deserve, upcoming plans, whatever the case may be. I do have like a side freelance kind of job going on where like I do help someone with their social media. So sometimes I just get burnout from looking at my phone and or computer, and during the week when I come home from my 9 to 5, I don't want to do anything on my phone or computer. You're lucky I turn the TV on. Like, sometimes I just want to read right away when I get home, or literally just binge watch a show and do like nothing. So really like content days are a maybe, just for my mental health. And that goes even with the next thing. I have an Amazon storefront that a lot of people don't know about, or I have posted it on my Instagram, but I would never want to like force somebody to like buy an item specifically with my link and only my link, right? I try to make the Amazon storefront relatable more than just books. It can be orders that I have received in the past, or upcoming orders, beauty, fashion, all that stuff. But I really don't use Amazon to that full capacity. So I don't even know if I want to keep up with the storefront anymore. It's really cool that we have that opportunity to get a little side money, because Lord knows these days it's hard to just have a stable income, but which I'm blessed to have. But I just thought it was really cool, especially with books, to share any of my favorite books with you guys, and I provide the link for you right then and there. I really don't want to be selfish in that regard. I just wanted to share, hey, you can get the same books that I'm reading or what I've read, or if you, whatever the case may be, with my personal link. But that's a question mark. That's just another platform that I feel that I would have to keep up with. You know what I mean? So that's a big maybe. What I really do want to do definitively is create monthly trackers. I just love creating things on Canva, graphic design, sharing it on my Instagram, in my stories, in a post. I love that when a new month comes, I do see people like provide templates on there, stories to use. You can just hold your screen down and take a screenshot of it, and there you go, presto. But last year I was doing that with 2 months. Like I was squeezing 2 months at a time, and it was a little hard to keep track of on top of the 3 apps that I was using to keep track of my books, so it was just too much. Even if I just read 1 book for the month, I want to put that on a monthly tracker and share it with you guys on my Instagram, because I do have a highlight saved every year that I do, like a whole highlight of 2024 reads, or like I'll create one starting for 2025. So I do want it to be there, and I love being creative and designing things, so that just makes me happy. Which also goes into even what books would be on that list or tracker that I'm showing you guys that I read for the month. So I get really intimidated when a new month starts, because every time I see on a video, you know, I love when people share how many books that they've read, but when they're like, I read like 40 books in 1 month, I'm like, how? Okay, like, numbers are great, but then at the same time they're so intimidating. So I want to create more of, instead of a monthly TBR, because a monthly TBR, when I don't get to it, I'm just like, dang, I thought I would get to it, I said I would get to it, and I didn't get to it. I want to create more of TBR or monthly, yeah, that's better, monthly hopefuls. So like for February, I have to start that list and put it together. Hopefuls where maybe I'll get to this book, and if I don't, that's okay. I hoped for the best and I didn't read it, that's okay. For me, the wording is just a way to be a little less hard on myself, right? So like for February, I want to hopefully get to more romance books for Valentine's Day. I don't have to have 10 books on that list, but if I can get to at least one of those, I will be very, very happy. I also want to set like maybe monthly goals or daily goals. So maybe for like the month of January, maybe I want to listen to more audiobooks. Maybe I want to, you know, make sure I have like 1 book review done for each month. Maybe a daily goal can be get to that book review, Sandra, like something. Like, I don't even think it's a problem if I were to share book reviews from 2024, what I read, but I think that was my mindset of having that as a goal, to create smaller goals. Because for me, it's all about pacing yourself, and it's like one thing at a time. And for me, it's a way to not overwhelm myself. When I have a million ideas in my head and that creative itch just comes, I want to get to it as soon as possible. Like, I want to bring back my blog. I want to come back on YouTube. I want to go back to my monthly newsletters. But I never know how to like pump the brakes and tell myself that it's okay. You don't have to get everything done immediately. So that's why I'm trying to minimalize what I do want to accomplish. So this one, the next one, I've also got a head start with, so I'm checking that off that it's already being done, and I will stick with it. And it's to read a chapter or 30 pages every night before bed. I love reading before bed. It makes falling asleep so much easier, especially if I have this kind of ambiance going on. If I can't get to the full 30 pages, that's why I said it's okay if I at least read 1 chapter and call it a night. Like, this granny has been going to bed by 10:30, okay? Totally fine. There is like a huge note that I want to make of that too, because I would host reading sprints on TikTok or join reading sprints, who's ever live hosting one. And for myself or other people, they've done like 20-minute increments, right? And people can stay on live for like a good 3 hours. So you can get a lot of reading done in 20-minute sprints, and you take 10-minute breaks in between. So this ambiance is provided on Netflix. You can find others on HBO Max or YouTube, whatever your heart desires, to find something that fits for what you need while reading and focusing. So this is an hour. So if I can get, like today I read for an hour and I got 34 pages done. So right there, before bed, boom, I not only got an hour of reading done, but I got 34 pages, which is more than like 30 that I want to accomplish, right? I just did math. So I just really like this. This has been my new thing, and I'm going to keep up with it. So I digress on that. And that's basically all of my goals related to my hobby and passion and love for books and reading and sharing all that. Just my mental reminder to take things one at a time. I really don't want to feel overwhelmed like I have to post or I have to film content. Last year I did get a little better with that. I did tell myself, like, it's okay, it's so that you don't feel burned out. Do I see people posting consistently and like hold them accountable for that? Yeah, and I hold myself accountable for not being so consistent. But at the same time, we need to remember that it's okay to not feel like we have to post, because I think, like, at the end of the day, that's what social media burdens our mind with. Because one minute you're on track and then you want to take a break, or you just don't have time to work on something, it makes you feel like punished for not like posting something consistently. Like, it feels like you're starting over, and I think that's just a huge burden, like, for our mental health. And then, like, even wanting to be creative. Everybody wants to be creative these days. Like, you wouldn't find your favorite influencer or Instagrammer or your favorite video, or like there would literally be nothing for our minds to scroll on without people like posting. So it's encouraged, but I think, you know, we shouldn't take away that, like, okay, someone didn't post today, that's okay, but the algorithm just has literally its own artificial intelligence with that, and it just makes it feel like, you know, something we have to keep up with and then feel bad about it if we don't, and I just don't like that feeling. So those are my 2025 bookish goals, hopefully, that I can keep up with, as well as coming back on YouTube. And the whole thing is that, yes, I will make my own type of comeback. It may not be every day, but I'm trying, and we're all trying, and that's like what the most important thing is, that we're all trying. It doesn't like take away what we have been working on and will continue to work on. I am going on a whole tangent. I just hope you needed to hear positive affirmations today. So those are my 2025 bookish goals. Let me know if you have any goals in the comments. It doesn't have to be related to books. It can be literally anything that you want to accomplish for 2025. I wish you the best of luck with those goals. I know a lot of people want to get back into reading for 2025, or like start for the very first time. So I'm here if you need any help with that. Like, I'm not a pro, but just if you need advice on how do you manage to find time to read, or how do you manage to read 3 books at a time, or stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Again, all my links will be provided in the description box below if you guys want to follow me anywhere. I really appreciate all the love and support. Okay, I don't mean to sound like an influencer, but thank you. Subscribe if you want more bookish video content, Disney when I go, and that's pretty much it. So whatever day you're watching this, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, and let's pray for a very successful and very healthy and amazing 2025. I know the start of it was literally crazy and so heartbreaking and just depressing with everything that has been going on with New Orleans and California and just everything that the world continues to go through and suffer. But we, at the end of the day, are here for each other, and we use this platform to escape those types of realities, and I just want to keep all positive vibes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video, whether it's a vlog or something bookish like this one. So thank you for watching, and bye.